Acceleron Learning, life experience, accelerated. On deck right now, career dynamics and solving the problem. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Ankerman. This is the second unit in a three-part series on problem solving. The first unit covered defining the problem. After the problem has been defined, you can begin taking steps to solving it, step 2. In this unit, we will focus on the second component, solving the problem. Recall from the last unit, you learned about the SCQA method of defining a problem. That is, situation, complication, question, and answer. This unit will discuss the A part of the process, answering the question. In other words, solving the problem. Let's get started. Now, we will discuss several analysis techniques that you can perform to arrive at a solution. These include customer interviews, gap analysis, SWOT analysis, cost-benefit analysis, and Pareto analysis. The first one we'll examine is interviews. Interviews help you collect data or information and query individuals on complex problems by using a structured set of questions. The first step is to prepare. In this step, you will identify objectives, that's determine why the interview is happening and identify who the respondents and interviewees are. What is the purpose of the interview? Why is the interview taking place? What end goal is in mind? What do you expect to accomplish by conducting interviews? Next, conduct background research. Research relevant topics and understand the context of your interviewees. Perform any necessary background research so that you are prepared to conduct the interviews. This may include information on who's the customer or audience, who are the demographics, including any relevant statistics pertaining to your interviewees, such as likes, dislikes, preferences, tastes, etc. Finally, develop the interview guide. Create a question guide that moves from broad questions to specific questions. Prepare a list of questions that begin with general broad types and move to more specific questions later on in the interview. Once you've done this, you can conduct the interview. This is where you'll provide context for the interview, explain the purpose or agenda to your interviewees, explain the benefits of the interview, such as how the information will be used, and provide context for why the information is sought. You don't want to interview people with a hidden agenda. This will destroy the rapport and trust with your interviewees, and may be unethical in some cases, unless a disclosure of the blind interview was agreed to by all parties beforehand. Ask questions. Articulate goals for the interview. Move from general questions to more specific types of questions. Ask open-ended questions, and don't be afraid to ask for clarification or more details if needed. Determine next steps. Ask if the respondent has any questions before closing. Gather documentation or submit data requests and establish the next steps. The last step of the interview process is to synthesize. In synthesis, here's what you'll do. You'll group like items, write major themes, quotes, or feedback from each interview on index cards, then use issue trees, issues, and sub-issues to group these items. Test hypotheses. Brainstorm and test hypotheses on the links between feedback and the issues, deciding which points deserve further investigation. And draw conclusions. Validate hypothesis using data or analysis, drawing conclusions as appropriate. Here's a tip you can utilize when asking interview questions. Use the 5 whys. These 5 whys should be used during an interview because they are a powerful tool for getting to the root cause of an issue. For example, my car won't start because the battery is dead. The first why would be, why is the battery dead? The second why is the alternator not functioning? The next why is the alternator belt broken? The fourth why is the alternator belt well beyond its useful service life and has never been replaced? The last why, the root cause, is why have I not been maintaining my car according to the recommended service schedule? Notice that the 5 whys got to the root of the issue. consider implementing 5 whys in your own interview analysis.